The period which was not only important in political history but also played a crucial role in shaping the early identity of American literature, and that was revolutionary period. Hello guys, this is Dr. Bharti Gautam. Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to discuss about the revolutionary period of American literature, which refers to the time between 1765 and 1790, when American colonies were struggling for independence from British rule. During this time, writers used literature as a powerful tool to inspire people, spread revolutionary ideas, and unite the colonies against British authority. The revolutionary period is closely connected with the American Revolution, which eventually led to the establishment of the United States as an independent nation in 1776. The literature written during this time mainly focused on themes such as freedom, independence, democracy, national identity, and resistance against oppression. Writers, political leaders, and thinkers used pamphlets, essays, speeches, letters, and poetry to express their views and influence public opinion. This period developed as a response to increasing tensions between the American colonies and Great Britain. After the 7 Years' War, that is from 1756 to 1763, Britain faced huge debts and began imposing heavy taxes on the American colonies. Laws such as the Stamp Act, Townshend Acts, and Tea Act angered the colonists because they had no representation in the British Parliament. This situation led to the famous slogan, "No taxation without representation." As tensions grew, resistance movements began to appear. One important protest was the Boston Tea Party in 1773, where colonists threw British tea into Boston Harbor to protest unfair taxation. These events increased the conflict between Britain and the colonies. Eventually, the conflict turned into a full-scale war known as the American Revolutionary War. During this struggle, literature became an important means of spreading revolutionary ideas and encouraging unity among the colonists. Revolutionary literature began mainly with political writings. Pamphlets and essays were the most common forms of writing because they were easy to print and distribute among the public. These writings explained the reasons for rebellion and encouraged people to support independence. Many writers used simple and powerful language so that ordinary people could understand their ideas. The main aim was not only to entertain readers but also to persuade them and motivate them to join the movement of freedom. The most important document of this period was the United States Declaration of Independence, 1776, drafted primarily by Thomas Jefferson. This document declared that the American colonies were independent from British rule and emphasized the natural rights of human beings such as life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The literature of the revolutionary period had several distinctive characteristics that made it different from earlier colonial writings. First one, political and patriotic nature. Most writings of this period were strongly political. Writers aimed to defend the cause of independence and criticize British policies. Literature was used as a weapon to support the revolution. Secondly, emphasis on freedom and liberty. The central theme of revolutionary literature was freedom. Writers emphasized that all human beings are born with natural rights and should not live under unjust authority. Thirdly, simple and persuasive language. Unlike earlier religious writings, revolutionary literature used clear and direct language so that common people could understand it easily. Writers wanted to influence public opinion. Fourth, development of national identity. The revolutionary period helped Americans develop a sense of national identity. Writers encouraged people to think of themselves not as British subjects but as citizens of a new nation. Then, influence of Enlightenment ideas. The literature of this period was greatly influenced by the ideas of the Age of Enlightenment. Enlightenment thinkers believed in reason, individual rights, and democratic government, which strongly influenced American revolutionary writers. Several influential writers and political leaders contributed to the literature of this period. First one was Thomas Paine. One of the most powerful voices of the revolutionary period was Thomas Paine. He was a political writer whose pamphlets inspired thousands of colonists to support independence. His most famous work was Common Sense, published in 1776. In this pamphlet, Paine argued that the American colonies should separate completely from Britain and establish their own independent government. The pamphlet was written in simple language and quickly became extremely popular. It sold thousands of copies and helped convince many colonists to support independence. Another important work by Paine is The American Crisis, a series of essays written during the Revolutionary War. The famous opening line of the first essay reads, "These are the times that try men's souls." This writing encouraged soldiers and citizens to continue fighting for freedom. Second was Thomas Jefferson. He was one of the most important political thinkers of the Revolutionary period. He was the main author of the Declaration of Independence, which became a cornerstone of American democracy. Jefferson's writing emphasized natural rights and the idea that governments derived their power from the consent of government. His ideas were influenced by Enlightenment philosophers such as John Locke, who believed that people have natural rights that governments must protect. Jefferson's writings helped establish the philosophical foundations of United States. Thirdly, it was Benjamin Franklin, who was a famous writer, scientist, diplomat, and political leader. His writings played an important role in shaping early American thought. Franklin's most well-known work is the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin, which reflects the values of hard work, self-improvement, and practical wisdom. Although much of this work was written later, it reflects the spirit of independence and individual achievement that characterized the Revolutionary period. Franklin also contributed essays and articles promoting unity among the colonies. Then it was Patrick Henry, who was known for his powerful speeches supporting independence. His famous speech, delivered in 1775, includes the well known line, "Give me liberty or give me death." This speech strongly inspired colonists and encouraged resistance against British rule. Then Phyllis Wheatley was one of the first African American poets in the American literature. Her poetry gained recognition during the Revolutionary period. Her work often expressed themes of religion, freedom, and human dignity. Wheatley's success was significant because she proved that African Americans could achieve literary excellence despite living in a society that practiced slavery. Then John Adams. He was an important political leader and writer of the Revolutionary period. Through his essays and letters, he supported independence and explained the need for a democratic government. He later became the second president of the United States and played a key role in shaping the nation's political structure. Now, the literature of this period appeared in several forms. First was pamphlets. They were short printed booklets that discussed political ideas. They were cheap and easy to distribute, which made them very effective in spreading revolutionary ideas. Then speeches. Political speeches were very important during this time. Leaders addressed large gatherings to inspire people to support the revolution. Then essays. Many revolutionary writers expressed their ideas through essays in newspapers and magazines. Then there were letters. Letters between political leaders also became important historical and literary documents. Then poetry, although political writing dominated this period, poetry was also written to express patriotic feelings and revolutionary enthusiasm. Several themes frequently appear in the literature of revolutionary period. First was freedom and independence. The most dominant theme was the desire for freedom politically from British control. Then equality and human rights. Writers emphasized the idea that all people have equal rights and deserve their fair treatment. Then patriotism. Literature often expressed love for the emerging nation and encouraged people to sacrifice for their success. Then democracy. Many writers supported the idea of democratic government in which citizens participate in decision making. The Declaration of Independence is one of the most important documents in the American history. Written primarily by Thomas Jefferson in 1776, it explained why the colonies were separating from Britain. The document contains three main sections. First was statement of principles about human rights. Second was list of grievances against the British king. And third was declaration of independence of the colonies. The declaration not only influenced American politics but also inspired democratic movements around the world. The revolutionary period had a lasting impact on American literature. Firstly, it helped create a unique American literary voice separate from British traditions. Before this time, most colonial writers imitated British styles and themes. After the Revolution, American writers began focusing on their own national identity. Secondly, it established literature as a powerful tool for political and social change. Writers demonstrated that words could influence public opinion and shape history. Thirdly, the ideas expressed in revolutionary writings continued to influence later history movements in the United States. Revolutionary period laid the foundation for later developments in American literature. The sense of national identity created during this time influenced the national or romantic period that followed in the early 19th century. Later writers continued exploring themes such as democracy, individual freedom and the American experience. This period is one of the most significant stages in the development of American literature